Before going to China, I had spent 6 months in training to get fit enough for the task ahead of me. I was cycling, running and trekking a combined average distance of 100 kilometers a week. I can distinctly remember staggering to numerous morning meetings complaining of aches and pains, but I felt ready and up for the challenge until I actually arrived in China.
Hello everyone at the farm. I've just got to the province that we are starting our trek tomorrow. Arrived at Beijing after a 10-hour flight and another 3 hours to get to here, so I'm absolutely exhausted. I've had no sleep whatsoever. We've just had a briefing about what we're doing tomorrow. So we're up at 5:45 to have breakfast and get going. We're doing 15 kilometers before lunch. It's freezing. It's got cold at the high we've got up here. There's snow at the top of the mountains. It's just phenomenal. At the moment I'm gobsmacked. It's finally sunk in now I'm here. And I just wanted to say it's thank you to everyone at the farm that supported me. And I got to tell you, it's well worth doing anything like this. This is the first time I've done anything like a video diary, so I apologise if this is a bit dodgy. I'm going to go, I need to sleep. Bye!
There were 17 trekkers, a team of 4 guides, a qualified surgeon and a translator on the expedition. Every day would involve an hour trek to get to each section of the wall. On the first day, I was overcome with excitement. I couldn't believe it. I was going to be walking on the Great Wall of China. I couldn't wait to get going, especially because it was so cold. The ground was hard and uneven. We would often scramble over hilltops and on the edge of cliffs. On the first 3 days we walked through small remote villages. The standard of living was pretty poor. The buildings were run down and the villagers wore dirty, torn clothes, which was quite sad to see. In the villages there were some farm animals, pretty much the same as what we have, but there was a few strange ones. I'm not sure what this one is. On the first few days we walked on the wall where it was fallen apart and totally overgrown. It was very difficult to actually take on board the views. They were magnificent, but yet too good to be true. You could see the wall snaking endlessly over the hills. The wind was bitter, but the temperature was approximately 20 degrees. It was very strange, very hot, but very cold all at the same time. We walked for 8 hours each day, and I passed the time by talking about the young people at the farm. I didn't quite realise how proud I was of them. I kept laughing to myself every time someone stopped to go to the toilet, as I remember Mr. Burgess asking where I was going to go for a wee and whether I would do it off the side of the wall. I know he was joking, but I think back, I laughed, but the reality was, this is what happened. It's the ladies I felt sorry for.
It's a sticky bit that side, isn't
In
it?
each village you would find a stone machine for crushing produce from their land. This provided a welcome 5 minutes of entertainment as the temperature soars into the 20s. At the end of each day we would reach our campsite. There was a team of Chinese people who would already be there to set up the tents, etc. The facilities were top quality. The tents were equipped with their own combi boiler. The bathroom was lovely. It was amazing how strong my legs got by the end of the week. The last time I dug a hole in the ground was with Brownie. It wasn't so bad though. We managed to get a campfire going. It was amazing. It reminded me like the session that Martin and Mike Morton did down the farm. But this animal wasn't hanging from a tree. In true Welsh tradition, it was me, a Kiwi guy, and an English girl who were last to bed. Yeah! Each night, the temperature dropped to -degrees, so we would wake up freezing. The Chinese team would have a basic spread of Chinese food laid out for us ready.
Breakfast. Yes.
I'm tired, and it's Siberia, not China.
As we walked the wall, it became increasingly better built. The part shown here was the first section on the 5th day. Even though the path was mainly rubble and was difficult to negotiate, the views were breathtaking. The wall was almost vertical in parts, and many people in the team were struggling. This was the part of the trek that I felt the team had gelled. Our boots are crucial because the path was so uneven and slippery. It would have been quite easy to fall over, and if you were near the edge without support, you could have gone over. In the last few days, we got closer to the more tourist parts, and we began to see more people in general. At the end of the 4th day, we arrived in a very small village, greeted by some children. We had just walked over a small mountain to get there, only to find that these children have to do that every morning and every afternoon to get to and from the school. It's crazy to think that it's very hard to get our young people to go from one session to the other, and these children were only about 7 or 8, and they're allowed to walk across the side of a mountain to get to school in icy conditions. The children walked us to the schoolyard where we were going to camp. They treated us like rock stars. It was a very surreal experience. When we arrived in the yard, they immediately saw the basketball nets. The translator told me that they had just got funding for them, and the children didn't even know how to play the game. 2 of the other leaders and I grabbed the ball and encouraged the children to join in. It took a while for them to get involved, but suddenly the children were everywhere. They were interested in everything that we were wearing and doing. They did not see Westerns very often, and you would notice them, they would start staring at you. The trekkers were spread out, playing different British schoolyard games with the children. They were so excited, it reminds me of playing in the schoolyards before health and safety took all the fun out of it. The children were rolling around on solid concrete floors, doing headstands, jumping off high ground and having the time of their life. We played for hours until they wore us out. They seemed very interested in me being hairy, no different than me back in Wales. The translator said they were calling me monkey, but I can't blame them as I was rolling around and acting foolish. The next day, we had to get up first thing as the children were already on their way. I had a quick look around in the classroom. It was shocking. Not long after filming this, I heard a loud cheer. The children were back and the trekkers had lined them up for one last game. The old favourite, the Okie Dokie. The children had planned a presentation with their traditional flag raising ceremony. They were all so disciplined, I couldn't believe it. In the speech, the little girl mentioned our young people and said to say hi. I was quite overcome, as I didn't think they had understood what I had said the day before. I am so glad I had my sunglasses on.
首先让我代表高房小学全体师生对你
Dear uncles and aunties, thank you very much for coming all the way to our school. My name is Wang Siqi. I'm on the second grade of the school. First, on behalf of all the students and teachers from our school, I would like to warmly welcome all of you being here. And your presenting here brought us so much fun and happiness. We're so happy to be together. And dear uncle, aunties, our school got today, we have the achievement of today. We had lots of help from all of you. So again, I will, on behalf of the school and all the students, say thank you to you. And also, I will ensure we will study hard and learn every day and grow up healthily and happily. And also, I would like to say hi to the students from your country. And finally, hope you all have a nice trip and enjoy your staying, and hope you come again.
Thank you.
On day 9, we were allowed a free day in Beijing. Or I should say, Beijing, as I was corrected. So I decided to fit in as much as possible. As most people know, I'm a keen martial artist, and I thought there's no better place in the world to experience this than China. I got up at 6 o'clock and walked for about 20 minutes searching around the back streets of Beijing until I found a park. There were people in their 60s and 70s dancing, playing sports, practicing Tai Chi and Qigong. It was an awesome sight. The parks in our country are a no-go area generally. I hate to think what would happen if you took a sword to our local parks. I managed to fit in the Summer Palace and the Forbidden City before returning back to the hotel, because in the evening we had our celebratory meal.
I'm nowhere near like this. Just the movement was. On the very last part of the wall, we were allowed some personal time to reflect on why we were there. There were so many heartfelt reasons within the team.
The charities chosen by the trekkers were very close to their hearts, but one person on the trip had more of an effect on me. Her name was Mandy and she was 24. She was not there to raise money, but more to increase the awareness of her charity. Her best friend had died only months before. I had talked about not hitting my target and what I was hoping to achieve, but she pointed out that I have raised a lot of attention for the trust and will have an effect on it in the future, and maybe the children will look themselves into other things and other expeditions. The school and gang find was definitely my favourite part of the expedition. I had realised how fortunate our young people are, and this has inspired me to try and show them this. I just wish that they could have the experience themselves, especially from what I've got from this trip. Thank you to everyone that's helped me with this expedition. I hope that I've inspired more young people to think out of the box when it comes to their own lives. The music room is a crucial element of the farm, and I hope you will continue to support this project.